I'd like to introduce now Shri Ashish Chauhan, Managing Director and CEO of the National Stock Exchange of India, NSE. A mechanical engineer, a technocrat from IIT Bombay and IIM Calcutta, he was part of the founding team of NSE. He is credited with setting up first screen-based trading in India, the Nifty Index, derivatives trading, and many such modern developments of the Indian stock markets. He's also been the MD and CEO of the Bombay Stock Exchange, BSE. A book titled Sthit Pragya, The Process of Maintaining an Equilibrium, addresses his life's journey. Please welcome the eminent guest of honor, Shri Ashish Chauhan.
Honorable Chief Justice Retired, Sri Sanjeev Khanna ji, other dignitaries on dais, my friend Sri Charanjit Singh Nanda, so Sri Poonam Khetrapal, Sri Himmat Jain, Sri Sundar Kumar Singhi, Sri Rajkumar Nahata, and everyone present here. Sri Rajkumar Nahata ji met me 2 weeks back when I had come for another event. And he insisted that I attend this event. And I have been impressed by Therapant's work and Pujniya Sri Mahashramanji, the work of the Panth and people, specifically due to Honorable Minister of Law and Justice, Independent Charge Sri Arjun Ram Meghwal ji, as he was my minister for a long time as in Ministry of Finance as Minister of State. And I have visited many temples with him during his travel to Mumbai, Ahmedabad, and Rajasthan. So good morning, and it's a pleasure to be in front of you. In some ways, the crime, when we say white-collar crime, there are 3 words: white, then collar, and crime. And then if you think white-collar is one word, then what is white collar? Why do we call it white collar? Then only you will realize that the implications of that activity. Somewhere on the line, I think 150 years back, somebody figured that there were people in jail, especially in UK, who were wearing blue collars, and they were violent criminals, people who used to be having done some crimes with hands or legs or killing people and things like that. And that's why they were violent people. They were in blue dress and blue collar. While as the people wearing white dress were all sophisticated, but they had done equally bad things for the society, but they don't look like. So if you kill somebody, if you hurt somebody, everyone gets to know. But if you take away somebody's money, do something which is morally reprehensible, it doesn't look like a crime usually. And that's where basically that person defined the white-collar crime as the people who were sophisticated and did that which were not physical in terms of violence. And that's what he defined. And it's not that white-collar crime is a new phenomenon. White-collar crime has been there from time immemorial. It's the way, it's not physical, but it takes away a lot of things. And if you go through the Indian mythology, we have all heard of Shakuni in Mahabharata. There is a game, there is a contract, right? You play the game and you win or lose. And Shakuni changed the dice to ensure that a particular party wins. And then you had Mahabharata, out of that you had Bharat, right? So in some ways, white-collar crime was responsible for creating Bharat in some ways, because that is how it has been there from time immemorial. Without your knowledge, things happen. You come to know sometimes later on, but most times you may not even come to know that you have been cheated. There are people who take away 1 paisa or 0.1 paisa out of your bank account, and millions of bank account deposited in somebody else's account. You will not even know because it's 0.001% of a paisa but together it becomes very large. Somebody takes away that petrol. Out of each 1 liter you take, that 1 milliliter, 1 out of 1,000, it takes away by giving you less petrol. It is a white collar crime, right? And that is where I just wanted you to be aware that it's not new. It is just that it's changing colors. The Justice S.H. Kapadia, who was on the board of Bombay Stock Exchange when I was also CEO there, once he remarked and he was a chartered accountant. And so he remarked that when he joined as a justice, 80% of the crimes were physical crimes, non-commercial crimes. When he retired after probably 15, 20 years of service in judiciary, 80% crimes were commercial in nature. So literally, in that period of his time, the way India dealt with crime changed drastically. And why it happens is when societies become more prosperous, then the crime also becomes more white. Because then more and more disputes are about the money being taken, but in a smart way, not taking away from your pocket. Now, in fact, due to UPI, you don't have pockets, or even if you have pockets, mostly you will not be carrying money. But still, there are ways people take money out of you, people do things which are reprehensible morally, and that's where, for me, somewhere on the line, we all need to worry about what's going to happen, and we need to anticipate. I think this conference, in a way, is timely from that perspective. And in my own business of stock markets, we have many such white-collar crimes happening from literally last 400 years. The first stock exchange was set up in Amsterdam, called Amsterdam Stock Exchange. And since then, the stock markets also have witnessed many such white-collar crimes where people have created fake companies, sold their shares, and then companies had no business. Even now, some companies come, they try to create elaborate ways to give that information. People check it up, merchant bankers, they do due diligence, everything. But later on, the company is found to have very little business or very little comparable business. Or it's possible that the company may have given false promises. And that is also coming under some sort of a white-collar crime. Sometimes you may get a call saying you have got a parcel, and that parcel, the speed post could not deliver to you. So you need to pay only 10 rupees 27 paisa, and you think it's government, right? 10 rupees 27 paisa, probably it's possible. You go and you need to go to this particular website. You go to that website will ask you officially your name, Aadhaar code, this, that, and you pay the money. It will be not 10 rupees 27 paisa, it will be like 25,000 rupees 233. You will just put the OTP because you thought it's only 10 rupees 25 paisa, that will go away. That's white-collar crime. And there are literally, just jacking up share prices without having correct information or showing the market bad news or wrong news is also a white-collar crime. Last year, probably 1.5 years back, somebody created a video of mine which I had not made. It looked like me, it talked like me, and invited people to join a WhatsApp group where I will give you daily tips on stock markets. And so I thought it was a prank. I am also working in technology all my life. And so I thought it's a prank by my friends who have got hold of new technology, and they put it on the internet to just tease me. And so I took it lightly. After 3-4 days, I came to Delhi and I entered a hotel room, a kind of a hotel restaurant. And 4 people from different corners got up, literally the richest people in Delhi, 4 of them, and said, Ashish bhai, very good. You have created a WhatsApp group. We have become member of your group. And then I realized it's a sort of a nightmare that even the richest people of this country, people who are knowledgeable, are falling prey to this kind of things. I thought everyone, and that time, even the videos were created for Mr. Mukesh Ambani, for many other things, many other people, but my video was much better than other videos. So in other case, you could actually not differentiate. And so that video is still going on every day in 30, 50, 100 places. New Facebook accounts are created, new Instagram accounts are created, my videos are put, and they keep on sending people messages to become my friends, and they make them all the WhatsApp sort of friends and give them tips to jack up stock prices and things like that. So I went back to, on that day, when I went back to Delhi, next day I went office and said, we need to file a court case in High Court, because the social media companies are not taking back or deleting those videos. So I went to the court and said, this is basically creating a fraud on public, and this is not correct. And Honorable High Court gave a judgment or rather gave an interim order that those companies will have to take out those videos in few hours. The battery of the top lawyers of Delhi, Mumbai were actually presenting not only one company who we had gone against, but all the social media companies, which are actually foreign companies. They did not want this kind of rights to be given to Indians. They have a business model. They have a business model to allow these frauds to go through, because they actually charge those fraudsters to target you and me. If you are watching stock market somewhere, anywhere in Google, still Facebook ad will appear. And that is where they have a business model so the entire battery of lawyers, everyone top guys. And still the Honorable High Court said, no, this is incorrect. And that has now become a case law. Later on, they kept on arguing with government. They went to Ministry of Electronics and said, this is not reasonable. 4 hours is not reasonable. Give us 10 hours. And finally, they have agreed to something. And then that circular has been issued for all of you. If you come across, but it's a identity theft, which is equally bad. And somewhere on the line, for me, that time I started thinking that what is going to happen? The truth and untruth is not going to be now easy to differentiate. Somebody can actually make your video look like you committing a murder. It will be an evidence. It will be actually placed on the video camera of that CCTV in that particular locality where that thing happened, and nobody will know that you have not committed the crime. So for me, it's going to be hugely sort of unreal. And there again, when the untruth becomes too large or too much, then all the humans will try to go toward sources which are giving some amount of truth, right? Because full truth is a very difficult thing to grasp. But more and more websites, more and more people who can start giving that, in fact, there are fact checkers, they call themselves, who also give wrong facts. And so they all mix up because they also need to make money. And that's where we need to be able to differentiate ourselves, what is correct, what can be correct, and still don't believe your eyes. Earlier, it was said that don't believe your ears. Now, don't believe your eyes also, and don't believe anything, right? So that is where the distrust is going to happen, and the kind of technology that is coming is unbelievable. Now, 1.5 years back, what a professional could do, the best professional, now a child can do. And that is what basically you need to understand, that this thing which is going to go rapidly fast, we will have to understand that if you want to become Viksit Bharat, all these issues will have to be tackled by the society. And most of our framework of creating laws are about what I call rear view mirror driving. That is, all our past collective experiences are converted into a law, because we go through the process of creating law, discussing them, debating them, but that is about the past. The future is coming very, very, very fast. And we are not able to anticipate that what kind of law should be there, what kind of justice. For me, the order, when we say law and order, there are two different things. First comes order, then comes law, because codified order is the law. But justice is not law. Justice is very different. I mean, to belabor the point, the law and order, the laws were there in British Raj for Indians, but justice was not there. Right? So, many times we mix up all these things, that justice, law, order, everything is not the same. But effectively our laws are created basis collective experiences of the past. It's what is called like driving the car basis the watching the rear view mirror, not front. And till the time past was a good guide to the future, it was okay. Today, the past is becoming increasingly irrelevant. Yesterday is becoming more irrelevant than earlier because the future is coming very fast. It's coming in waves which we cannot even see today. And technologies are coming. There have been people, literally you might be getting a lot of calls or a lot of phones to give you loans. They will say, I'll charge you 1%, but it could be 1% per day. And there are people like China used to have massive amount of automation in their financial systems, and they had massive amount of frauds and forgery through this framework of automation. China, being the way it works, it ended up capturing people who were trying to do that, and after that, all those crooks of China ran away to Myanmar, the border of Myanmar and China, and today they have created an industrial scale framework where they hire people from across the world, including many Indians, who are sitting as BPO workers there or slaves of those BPOs, who are forced to call you up and me or to hack our computers and keep on transferring money into local Indian accounts, which are called mule accounts, and then they are shifted instantly to some bank in Nepal and from there to Myanmar. And that activity, in fact, there was some movie serial also about an Orissa village being kind of a master activity of Jamtara. I think that movie's name or serial's name was also Jamtara, and they ended up doing that very often. But today, the Myanmar border of China has become the epicenter of worldwide. 3 weeks back, one of my friends in US, she got a call. She is a citizen, and her husband are citizens of US for last 35 years. She got a call saying that during your application of citizenship 35 years back, you had made some mistakes out of which now your citizenship will be cancelled. And if you don't give us $5,000 in next 1 hour, we are basically going to cancel your citizenship now. And she is a very educated person. And don't tell your husband and don't stop your phone. She went through a lot of ATMs. From there she transferred from bank to bank and then came home, and her husband said, told her husband that we are going to get our citizenship cancelled and this Donald Trump thing is going on. And so everyone is so worked up. Then he told her that don't do this, let's go to police. Police had no clue because the perpetrators are sitting in India probably, or in Myanmar, or somewhere in Eastern Europe. And many times we think, because I run the largest electronic facility in India, on a good day, I get 2,000 crore orders in 6 hours and 15 minutes. 2,000 crore orders may not look big to you, but if I tell you that it's 50% of all orders in all stock markets in the world, then you will know we are now 50% of those orders. On a good day, I do 30 crore trades. That's again 50% of all trades in the world. And since I run the largest commercial facility in the country, electronic facility, and it also represents 460 lakh crore rupees of India's wealth. 1/3 of India's wealth is represented by NSE. There are people wanting to stop it. And we get attacks which are in crores, literally tens of crores every day. But when Operation Sindoor started, the first day in the morning, I got in 20 minutes 40 crore attacks on my website. 20 minutes 40 crore attacks. And my website, we only give the information about the stocks and companies and all. It doesn't affect our trading because our trading has a separate lease lines and all. But any terrorist or anyone wanting to stop me will get a moral victory saying NSE's website has been tell your husband and don't stop your phone. She went through a lot of ATMs. From there, she transferred from bank to bank, and then came home. And her husband said, told her husband that we are going to get our citizenship cancelled, and this Donald Trump thing is going on. And so everyone is so worked up. Then he told her that don't do this. Let's go to police. Police had no clue because the perpetrators are sitting in India probably, or in Myanmar, or somewhere in Eastern Europe. And many times we think, because I run the largest electronic facility in India, on a good day, I get 2,000 crore orders in 6 hours and 15 minutes. 2,000 crore orders may not look big to you, but if I tell you that it's 50% of all orders in all stock markets in the world, then you will know we are now 50% of those orders. On a good day, I do 30 crore trades. That's again 50% of all trades in the world. And since I run the largest commercial facility in the country, electronic facility, and it also represents 460 lakh crore rupees of India's wealth. 1/3 of India's wealth is represented by NSE. There are people wanting to stop it. And we get attacks which are in crores, literally tens of crores every day. But when Operation Sindoor started, the first day in the morning, I got in 20 minutes 40 crore attacks on my website. 20 minutes 40 crore attacks. And my website, we only give the information about the stocks and companies and all. It doesn't affect our trading because our trading has a separate lease lines and all. But any terrorist or anyone wanting to stop me will get a moral victory saying NSE's website has been closed down. And that, for that matter alone, they could create this kind of attacks. And it can happen to me, but it can happen to you also. Because now there are bots, robots which are called bots in the software related work. They are available for hire. If you want to attack somebody in internet by maligning him or her, giving fake videos, just creating nuisance about, figuring out her bank account, trying to transfer money from her account due to vulnerability and password and all. You have now robots available to hire. They can actually, you pay them $10 and they will try to do all these things. So things are changing very rapidly. Each of us need to be very worried, but it's not only me, because I am completely electronics. I have no physical work. Trade happens electronically. The stocks are transacted electronically. They are transferred to you electronically. Money is transacted electronically. We don't take cash. But if you think that white collar crime is always non-violent, it is not true. White collar crime, next stage is going to be also violent. You have seen Israel doing it through mobile phones in Hamas, right? 2,000 people across Gulf and Syria and all started blowing up at some point, right? Just the mobile phone, small little instrument which we use, we can't live without. Even when we go to sleep, we carry that. That thing blew up, right? Killing the next guy. It will happen. 2 weeks back, I was speaking at all the crime experts, the cyber crime experts of India in Mumbai. Morning, I was going to speak at another place, and that time, the news came that Washington DC Dallas airport has been hacked, and all the flights have been cancelled. Some 1,800 flights were cancelled. By the time I sort of completed that process, went to that cyber crime conference, new news came that Heathrow in London and Brussels airports have been hacked, and there also all flights have been cancelled. 2 months back, Belgium, France, Italy, and Spain, some pockets of them had 3 days of outage of power done by cyber hackers. Entire mobile communications in that area were closed down by cyber hackers. It is going to be huge nuisance. Tomorrow, they can blow up your aeroplanes. In fact, same day, when I was talking on the cyber crime, same day, the European Union president's aeroplane had to be force landed by manual watching. Today when you fly, it's actually flying by wire. That is, it's automatic. All the aeroplanes are flying by wire. But the pilot found something that GPS coordinates of the planes were hacked by Russia. And so he found the nearest physical airport using naked eye, which is very difficult when you are up. He just landed the plane because he thought this is going to go somewhere compared to what he was going to go. You can blow up nuclear power plants using now doing no physical work, just by connecting to, in fact, it was done by America, even where the Iranian nuclear reactors were not even connected to the internet, called Stuxnet. If some of you are in that, and I'm not trying to frighten you, but I'm just trying to tell you that what you think is a white-collar crime is very little. What is actual white-collar crime is too far, and it's moving rapidly, and all of us need to educate ourselves. The biggest way to combat all this is to actually educate ourselves, and that is the only way, because each of us are facing numerous such attacks every day. I mean, literally in that conference I said that earlier we used to think that when enemies attack you, they attack you on border. So we had armed forces, navy, army, and air force, and internally we have police. But today your mobile is the border. Attack is not coming from within India. Attack is coming from anywhere in the world. In fact, that is what they want. And that's what we need to be very aware, that now, if India has to become Viksit Bharat, all of us have to be more alert of not only white-collar crime, but any crime that can be committed. So thank you very much for calling me.